Hey, folks. So we're live on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. YouTube, hello. It's been a little while. Um, I want to talk about something pretty simple today, which is the fires, the smoke. I think we've had 53 days here in Boulder, Colorado, with toxic smoke. They're having 100-degree days up in the Northwest, more than all um, the past century. Thank you for the wedding wishes. Um, my name is Waylon Lewis. I work with Elephant, and I just want to talk about. It feels like now this summer with the flooding, with the heat waves, with the toxic air, with um, crop failures, so many challenges um, that climate change is here. And so a lot of us have this feeling of dread. We don't see our politicians reacting. Sure, we see, Biden is trying to push electric cars and has a climate change plan. We see isolated plans. But in this time of COVID, it feels like we should be reacting more urgently. Climate change is existential. And unless we want to accept having toxic air, literally, they're having smoke reports, like smoke toxic air reports on the TV. That's a sort of casual change. Like, when did that happen? We didn't used to have that. I grew up here. Even 5 years ago, we didn't used to have that. I can't go bike. I can't play basketball. I can't, we can't go climb or hike in our mountains. For those who are vulnerable or have tough jobs, like say you're a house painter, you don't even have a choice to go inside. And when we do go inside, it's not even any better unless we have a air purifier like I have right here. And this thing is running 24/7 for the last month or two. We have one upstairs too for me and Michelle. So it feels weird to have this stuff sitting around. And, it's using electricity, and all the Northwest is now buying AC. There's lines out the, month-long lines to get AC installed. And that's just going to use more. So I feel like, I just wrote about this, but I feel like there's two directions we can go. One is we can react to climate change with depression, with accepting it passively, with getting more AC, turning more appliances on, only driving because we think we have pure air, even though the driving is a third of the climate change going on. Here in Denver, they said, okay, it's not just the forest fire smoke, it's the more people are driving than before the pandemic. It's fracking, which, all that toxicity gets caught when it's hot, and it's the forest fires. So there's a lot of issues to address here, but all of them have to do with we cannot go back to the old normal. The new normal can't just be let's make up for a year and a half and travel and abuse the planet and get plastic and trash everything. We talk about vegan diets. That's certainly a major piece of the puzzle. It also stops a lot of suffering and torture and death that's needless. The fires in British Columbia, in Greece, Spain, south of Italy. I think they just recorded the hottest day in history in Europe, history in Sicily a couple days ago. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Damn. It's actually the fan of the laptop. Is that better? I hope so. I'm so sorry. I did that last time. It's a pain in the butt to try to listen to Instagram when the volume is running. Is that better? We all fixed? So there's two directions we can go. One is we can address it, we can change, we can inspire, we can work together, we can engage in community, we can, feel empathy, keep those hearts open. Thank you, Judith, for mentioning it. Is it still better? It's still on my laptop here, so you're on my laptop here. But I think the fan is at the back. So let me know if it's still a bit loud. I can move it more. I try to keep it up, so you're not just looking at my chin. Uh, or we can kind of close down, we can abuse the planet further, and there can basically be no further generations. There can be mass extinctions. There can be this kind of end of times. But for those who say, oh, this is the end of times, not really. We're just making it so. We can change. We can change. We have control. We can engage in regenerative farming. We can, keep the heat, um, the change in temperature globally to 1.5 degrees. It's going to take rapid and concerted action. But if we are being governed by those who want to make quarterly profits, not even century, and if any of these companies wanted to make profits for a century, they would make radical, urgent change. The problem is that companies which are driving a lot of this are looking at quarterly profits, not long-term profits. And we have to take responsibility too. We are causing a lot of this. There's this whole thing about how, it's just 100 companies are causing the change. That's only within industrial emissions, and even there, supply and demand is operative, meaning we have to stop demanding oil and plastic and the various services in those companies. So I haven't had a car for 12 years. Not everyone can do that, of course, but we can try to do something. We can drive less. We can bus more. We can train more. My girlfriend and family in Denver just discovered the light rail to go to the airport. And that's a major change you can do. So exactly, Carol asks the question, how does the message finally hit home to the masses? How do we get people to wake up and realize this? People love denial. I mean, I'll offer one thing. My dad is a Trump, conservative, not concerned with climate change. He hates this toxic air. This toxic air is affecting everyone. There's a certain point where climate change, climate crisis, we should call it, is affecting all of us. And at that point, we're all going to want to change, either to hide from it or to engage in it. So I think the question isn't how do we get people to care? I think people are already caring. But how do you get people to engage in it? So obviously we have to vote for people who will fight pollution, who will fight climate change, who will address this urgently. And I guess that's all I wanted to say, is to kind of acknowledge what's going on, take it seriously, keep our hearts open, and engage in community. There's nothing we can't do together. Obviously, we can't reverse reality completely, but we can still save most of the world. As Jane Goodall says, why would you give up? Why would you be depressed? There's so much, even if you could save one life. Exactly. Back to village basics. Grow food together. Simplify. More hugs. Less being caught up in fear. I think less fear can be a confusing message because a lot of us run from fear, avoid fear, watch Netflix, get depressed, eat ice cream. That's not enough. Yeah, and stop engaging in billionairism. If any of you are interested, I literally just wrote about this in some more poetic depth, at least, on elephantjournal.com. You can look for my author profile, Waylon Lewis, but it is under latest. The other big news is we are walking our talk to those saying, let's act like a village, create community. We offer an online training program in engaging in Maitri and healing, in making friends with ourselves, and in writing our stories and offering that and being of benefit in creating and galvanizing, magnetizing change. It's called Elephant Academy, and it goes live this fall, and it just opened today, enrollment. Usually there's about 100, 120 people. We'd love to have thousands come on in. We don't know how we would handle thousands, but that's a challenge we'll jump into. Being vegetarian is awesome and goes a long way. But vegetarianism still kills dairy mother cows when they're 6. They could live till 20. They don't want to die. It's horrific. It still creates veal. The baby cows who get taken from their moms and then killed after an awful time, usually unheated little plastic sheds where they're freaking out and their moms are freaking out. And chicks, male chicks particularly, get killed, smothered, because they don't have a use to the egg industry. So, let's not boil it down to any one thing. We have to do everything that makes sense. But I would invite people to check out, eating local, eating organic, eating without plastic, zero waste. We're now ingesting a credit card's worth of plastic every single week, and trying to be vegan. Even one meal, even 2 meals. Do it out of sort of fun and experimentation. Not everything has to be guilty, You don't have to do things out of guilt, although guilt can push us in some good ways. Sometimes if we're feeling responsible, we're not looking at it, and then we say, hey, we're going to engage and we're going to go for it. So Elephant Academy, we talk about all this. We have mindful life challenges. We write. It's at elephantjournal.com/academy. Someone's asking here. The only way, someone is saying, why must we be so cruel to so many things? We don't. That's the good news. We really don't. How are we so cruel to so many things is sort of the question. And the how, as we all know, is out of sight, out of mind. We ignore it. We pretend it's not there. We, including me, get caught up in defending self and thinking about self instead of engaging in true joy, which is community, and true joy, which is opening our eyes and our hearts and living honestly and openly, which can include, we've all made mistakes. But we also all have fundamental basic goodness, and we can rest in that. We can learn to rest in that through meditation. So we'll do that in Elephant Academy. Come join us, elephantjournal.com/academy. It's a once-in-a-lifetime chance. I think really now is the moment. We can't wait anymore. These are tough times, and they're only getting tougher. And we are in for a ride, and this ride is not going to stay on the tracks. This ride is not functioning well. So we need to band together, and we need to, even more fundamentally, make friends with ourselves fully. So elephantjournal.com/academy. Please jump in. Please share it. Even if you can't jump in now, please share it to your wall or your Twitter feed or something. elephantjournal.com/academy. We have Redford right here, over here napping. I'll show you on Instagram. There he is. And love to you all. And check out Elephant Journal. Keep independent media alive. If you haven't read elephantjournal.com lately, please do. And Portland, I actually have a lot of friends there. It's not in a state of anarchy. We like to get excited by crazy headlines. And Portland has very real challenges, as do all cities. But Portland has, here's a fact, has amazing vegan donuts. That's a fact. So let's engage in supporting independent media, supporting truth, honesty, good information, community. elephantjournal.com/academy. Giga, you have an agenda, and that's fine. I would say you could go to hell, but you're already there because you're engaging in crazy stuff on Instagram, which sounds like an awful way to spend your life. So big love to everybody, including you, Giga, and vegan donuts to everybody. Please check out elephantjournal.com/academy. It opened today. Today is $400 off. It's the biggest discount we offer. We keep the entire thing affordable for a reason, because we want people to be able to do it. So we can say, let's just feel love, but we have to engage. Yeah, my dog is vegan, actually. And it's easy for dogs to be vegan. They love good food. Cats can't be vegan healthfully, so don't force an animal to be vegan if they can't be. But dogs can healthfully be. That's medical studies, science, facts. They're omnivorous like us. And actually being vegan, for those who can, is much more healthy. So thank you for calling me on my stuff. But in that case, I did engage with myself. I said, ultimately, my love for Redford isn't more important than 200 other animals a year, which is what the average size dog eats. So he went vegan years ago, and honestly, he cannot wait to eat breakfast and dinner. He's very into it. So thank you so much for your comment. elephantjournal.com/academy. Please join me. Biggest discount is offered today. That will not be offered again. It's a $1,000 program, and it is worth it. It's a month and a half of writing, of Maitri, which is making friends with yourself in the Buddhist tradition, meditation practice, mindful life challenges, writing your heart out, sharing your story to be of benefit.